Hello everyone, so I'll do a quick substrate review on the Spider Life substrate by ProPet and compare it with the coconut fibre like Eco Earth and stuff like that. Okay, well I'll start with the Spider Life. This is what I've just took out of Dorito's enclosure. It's a pre-mixed substrate, comes in a bag. I used the entire bag, filled the shoebox to as level as you'll see in the other videos. It's pre-mixed. It cost about £5 from my local pet shop. Came in a bag. It's very moist. It's bone dry now, obviously, but it seems to be. It didn't say on the bag what it's mixed, what the mix was composed of, but I can tell it's a mix of soil, cocoa fibre, bark, and looks to be little bits of what appear to be vermiculite in there as well. It was very good substrate. I've had success with it. He's been perfectly happy on it for the entire time he was on it. It holds humidity really well. I'd say better than the cocoa fibre holds humidity. Sorry. I've had cocoa fibre out for just a matter of days and it's nearly completely dried out. It is still quite damp. The heat mass underneath is dry at the bottom, but as the water's sort of seeping through the surface as it's drying out. When I first put him in there, he did burrow at some point in his while I've had him, but in this he was very reluctant to burrow in it, and that I think is because it's a lot more denser than the cocoa fibre. And it's got a lot of them big thick pieces of bark. I don't know how well it's coming through on the camera. See the shiny bits, I think they're vermiculite, and bits of bark there as well. Yeah, it's a lot denser, holds water a lot better as well. So it might have been too moist for him to burrow into, or simply too dense. But he did burrow in it after I sprinkled a bit of extra cocoa fibre on top to encourage him to dig, and his burrows did hold. So it's a suitable burrowing medium. But one thing I did find, especially in comparison with the cocoa fibre, is that heat does not penetrate this very well. Because I think that's a lot less dense, a lot lighter than the thick soil. The heat on that it's quite high. It's 28 degrees in there now, whereas it wouldn't really get higher than 20, 25, 26 before when I had this in there. And I think there's actually a thicker layer of the cocoa fibre now as well, so that's something to take note of. That warms up better. It also, I said, this tends to dry out quite quickly. In my experience, it'll dry out in a matter of days, whereas this took months and months to dry. In fact, I left it out for well over 2 weeks on the windowsill in thin layers, and it was still rather moist when I finally put it in the box, ready to set up the spider. It's already dried out on the corners. But, yeah. With regards to the cocoa fibre, I've used both the popular brands and the cheaper brands. I've used Eco Earth, which is I think by Zoomed or something, and I've used the Monkfield one, which is the one you can get at Pets at Home. They're both functionally exactly the same. Little to no difference at all. In fact, they are pretty much, well, they're both coconut fibre, they're both pretty much exactly the same. I've noticed no difference between them. There's even very little difference in price, so it doesn't really matter what brand of coconut fibre you get, because it's all pretty much the same. I've moved on to coconut fibre, because I've used it for my other ones, and it's more economically viable, if you like. It comes in the big dry bricks, and you get a lot more for your money, really. Whereas that one bag for £5 filled the one container, whereas for £5 I can get 3 bricks of Eco Earth, which will fill, well, one small brick completely filled this tub nearly. So yeah, that's why that's in there at the moment. And just to see how he takes it, I've got it on the other. I'm using it with the pokey at the moment, just on the floor. He doesn't do a lot with it, but when he was a lot younger, when it was a sling, it burrowed in that. What else I'd say? This was just a quick video. overview. That's the Spider Life substrate. More soil, a lot more denser than the cocoa fibre. Can still burrow in it. Holds humidity a lot better, but doesn't keep the heat as well. Heat can't penetrate it quite as well as the coconut fibre. So yeah, I would recommend it as a substrate. I really would. It's been really good for me. It looks quite good. I also prefer the look of the cocoa fibre as well. That's just personal preference really. But yeah, I've had success keeping my brachy quite happily on it. You know, it is good stuff. Would recommend it for anyone that wanted something thicker than the coconut fibre, more soil-like, maybe needed to retain more moisture within the enclosure, without wanting to use lots of moss, stuff like that, or large bodies of water. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Good product. Both good products really. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Any more questions, or if anyone's used this stuff before? I've looked for other internet reviews, but there's not many. There's a few like written reviews on shop websites and stuff, but I've not seen many YouTube responses to it. But yeah, positive. It's a positive one for both of them really. But yeah, basically down to personal preference and the conditions that you desire. Okay, thanks for watching.